Welcome to the Mind Vine podcast, where we challenge the stigma associated with mental illness through conversations about a variety of issues impacting mental health. Here we bring you news, views, and interviews that intrigue, educate, and celebrate recovery. Leading us on this journey are the hosts of the Mind Vine podcast, Darryl Mathers and Chris Bovey.
Welcome again. Welcome to the Mind Vine podcast.
Thank you.
We are on location. We're here in Ottawa at the Shaw Centre. You can see the Rideau Canal right there, the Parliament buildings. We're at the CAMI Mental Health Champions Award. My name is Darryl Mathers. I do usually have a co-host, Chris Bovey, although he's been mingling a lot today, so I've done a couple of these by myself. But I don't have Chris with me, but I'm lucky enough to have Josée Parent from Mon Shack.
Hello.
Right? I've been working on that since I saw your name a couple weeks ago. It was listed as one of the champions. So it's great to have you here. You're being honored tonight for the Community Award for the work you do near Lennoxville in Quebec. Well,
yes, I'm in the borough of Lennoxville, which is into Sherbrooke town. It's a small town. But there's a lot of needs about young people living with mental illness issues. Actually, there's no services provided in English for the young people living with mental illness issues when we're talking about supervised apartment. So we're going to be the first one providing both languages service in French and in English. So the community is really supportive. I cannot take this award for myself. There's no way. Yes, I create My Shack. I founded it. I went back to school, do my bachelor to be able to work in mental illness field and support young people. But nothing will be possible without the big support of the community that were always there for the first day until now, and they keep going. So I want to share this award with them, and also with a special person. My uncle used to live his life with schizophrenia, and I can tell you he was the best uncle of the world. So he passed away last year, but this is a part of him too into that project.
Oh, that's wonderful. Can you tell us a little bit about kind of the beginnings of Mon Shack and how you started it and how you ended up here?
I always been really volunteer for a lot of stuff in my life, and actually I was working for a suicidal prevention center, and I was a project coordinator through all Eastern Township and a trainer. And I realized the lack of services that we had in mental illness, and specifically for English population and for the youth. So I decided to create My Shack. So in French is Mon Shack, Mes Choix, Mon Avenir. In English, we can do the traduction as My Shack, My Choices, My Future, because I totally believe into the empowerment, and I believe that when we can do the intervention and support the people at start, it's so much easier for them to get back on their feet, have a life, get back to school. So it's a family decision too, because I have to quit my job then and to go back to school doing my bachelor at a full-time basis. So I have a wonderful husband and daughter who support me through this. Then at the same time I was studying, I was building My Shack. So all the way through, because we're totally different from what's existing right now. Let's say that we are totally open to the community. That's mean. Yes, we have the young people living with mental illness issues that have subsidized apartment on My Shack, as well as they have professional services on site. But it's open to the community, so that's mean the close relatives can come to My Shack to have joy and have fun activities with their close relative, instead being, stressed or in charge of. Now we decide that you can have fun, you can do yoga, you can do art, you can cook, and you don't have to be stressed. Just enjoy the moment and the present of your close relative, and that allows us to refer them to services for the family, because we know it's a huge protection factor that to have your family and close ones staying in contact with you when you go through mental illness issues. So for us, that was really important.
What are some of the success stories that have happened over the years, whether it's particular clients or families? Is there a particular rewarding experience that comes to mind as a highlight?
Yeah, actually, we're finishing the building. The grand opening will be in this year, but we actually have activities going on. So, which means we have yoga now every week. It's open to the community on a free basis. And we have young people with mental illness, people from the community, and our amazing yoga teacher, Lisanne Prévost. She's providing French and English yoga. And just to see it happening, that allows the young people already working on their recovery, but also allow them to do the reintegration or the integration into the community, because we have the community with us and through our activities. So just to see that, and the community needed too. You don't know how many stories I receive from people saying, oh, well, my husband, my aunt at work, they feel that this is a safe place that they can talk about mental illness. And we should have all the space to talk about mental illness. 1 person out of 5 will be touched with mental illness issues during their life. So, yes, we need to talk about it because everybody knows someone who went through something. So if you have a diagnostic of diabetes, you will feel free to say to every of your worker, well, I went to the doctor and I have a diagnosis, about my diabetes. And why you feel ashamed to tell, well, I went to my doctor and I'm having a burnout right now, I need to take a break. Why it doesn't happen? We need to talk more about that and to share health is health. Even if it's physical or mental, it still is your health, and we need to talk about it.
Your passion and your energy just, it radiates. And we're around a bunch of people today that they're the converted, if you will, right? Like everybody here is invested in mental health. But I'm wondering, like, for somebody like yourself who dedicates your life to helping others and furthering the cause, what's it like to be around a whole group of people that are kind of have that same energy and passion about mental health?
I have passion because I totally believe into it, and I have the privilege in my life to have an uncle who lived in battle schizophrenia for most of his life, and he was the most beautiful person I knew through my life. So this is an honor for him too.
I love that you said.
I'm always getting him out.
I love that you said it was a privilege.
It is. My uncle was the most authentic person in the planet, which I find it's a real huge quality, specifically today, to have a authentic person that you can talk with. And he was not playing a game. What you see is what you get, and that was perfect like that. That was an honor to have him as an uncle.
And it's really one of schizophrenia is one of those complex mental illnesses that we still have a long way to go in terms of people understanding it. Like, I think we've made a lot of progress in people understanding maybe some mild to moderate mental health issues. But when it comes to something like schizophrenia, people, pull back. They don't ask those questions, and
because of the stigma, it's just about stigma. That's it. Sickness is a sickness. You're not worse because you have this disease or this kind of disease. You're sick. It's the same thing with mental health. You're not worse because you have schizophrenia instead of depression or whatever. No, you're just sick and you need help and support, medication, therapy, whatever. But you need support. It's the same. We should not stigmatize. Actually, at Mon Shack, we actually have, I think, 4 of our youth who are living with schizophrenia, and they are amazing. They're doing great. We have people with depression, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, name it, and they are all beautiful. They are all great young people who are ready to fight for life, to work into their recovery. They're just asking to have a place to talk about their mental illness, not being judged, having support for the community, and we've got it in Eastern Township, okay? So they're on their way, on their recovery, and recovery is possible. And with schizophrenia, recovery is also possible. We have to keep hope and work on it.
Well, one of the people we work closely with is a face of mental illness. So this is actually his last function as a face of mental illness with the CAMI campaign, and he is a face for schizophrenia, and we are all quite proud of him as well. So it's great to have somebody else to talk to about those complex mental illnesses that feels the same way. So thank you very much for
Thank you for the invitation. That was an honor to be invited. Thank you very much.
And if people want to learn more about Mon Shack, do you have a website or?
We have a website. We have a Facebook page. We have LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and actually My Shack, it's me. So I'm doing all of this. and taking care of the yacht right now, but we're going to be able to hire somebody at the beginning of June. Thank God, because it's a lot doing the construction and everything at the same time, but it's also a privilege to be able to do so. And we're also on Canada Helps, and we have GoFundMe too, as we have to provide free services to community help people, and we have to do the auto financial 100%. So I'm not paid actually since the last 5 years. My husband asks when I'm going to get paid, but but I have a beautiful and wonderful husband. So that year we're opening, but I still not getting paid. But I have enough money to hire somebody. So at least I'm not going to be alone anymore. We're going to be two of us working together.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, and we'll put your website on the podcast. What's the address? Do you have the address?
Oh yes, it's a www.monshack.ca. So it's really easy. The website is in French and English.
All right, well, great. Have a great night, and thanks again for joining us.
Thank you very much.